Tell you what, I fucking love coming here. Jesus. I've only ever done 3 gigs here, and now I'm 4th in the line for the Paralympic team. It's brilliant. Oh, Jesus. Hello, everybody. I can't see fuck all, so if I don't interact with you, don't take it personally, all right? People often ask me why I talk so much about my disability on stage. The way I look at it, I've given you RSI, so I should at least address it, you know what I mean? Fucking, if I come home with a gun, you'd be wondering why the fuck I had that, so, you know, it seems quite natural. Speaking of guns, I don't know Oscar Pistorius, right? Never met him. Just because he's disabled don't mean I know him. There's not a club for disabled people. If there was, where the fuck would we all park anyway? You think I'd learn not to talk about my disability on stage? Because I get some weird comments when I come off stage. It's never any of you lot. Your audiences are generally quite good. It's other comics. Somebody asked me what my disability was once. I said cerebral palsy. He said, oh, that's not so bad. Thank you, Dr. Shipman. Yeah. Yeah. I've been doing comedy now for about 4 years, and it's been really rewarding. I've been here before as well. I've had good and bad gigs. I actually had a flashback to a bad one tonight because Danny, who was on earlier, he was the MC of my first ever gig, and you've just seen how long it took me to get on stage there, right? Well, at my first ever gig, I actually fucking ruined Christmas, right? Let me tell you how it happened. It wasn't here. There used to be a sister club called the Preston Frog and Bucket, which is where I'm from, and it was just before Christmas. It was my first ever gig, and despite me telling them I needed help getting up the stairs and getting the mic out and needed a chair, none of it was there, but, you know, I'm a fearless guy, so I went up the stairs and that was fine, and then I tried to get the mic out of the stand, fell over. Fortunately, I had a soft landing on some Christmas presents, which were then destroyed. So yeah, I've had some bad gigs. I've had some good ones too. Just before I came here last, did a gig to 2,000 bikers, and I got a standing ovation, which I thought was great. 2 things I should mention about that. 1, now you know what you have to live up to, and 2, comedy audiences really don't get irony, do they? Well, you lot obviously do, so that's all right. Yeah, it's weird. When I last came here, we were still in Europe, so yeah, that was a while ago, and since then, you've got a Scouser running for mayor. What the fuck's going on, Manchester? You're better than that. Send Bez up on a platform. That's what I want to say. I haven't got any jokes about it. I think that's a joke enough in itself, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that was the last time I was here. I've also changed jobs since then as well. Used to work in education. Now, they say when you leave, you should go out with a bang, but apparently in education, that's frowned upon. So, never mind. Someone really like that. I have a new job in this city now. I start Monday, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been around here before because not many people know this. I don't talk about it much, but I used to coach American football as well. I had to give it. That's not funny. That wasn't a joke. I actually did it, you heartless prick. You know. Fucking hell. I don't know. Things you can get away with. I don't know. Anyway, I did used to do that, but I had to give it up in the end because it started off when I was like probably about 16. The team was an under-19s team, so it was 16 to 19. I was 16 when I started. We were the same age group. We all listened to the same music. We got pissed in the same bars. It was 3 of the best years of my life. And then I got a little bit too old, and they got replaced with what I can only describe as wannabe gangsters. Right now, I don't know about you, but I don't think there's much ghetto about driving your mum's Citroen to training, you know what I mean? Or listening to Straight Outta Compton when you come from Altrincham, you know, it just seems a bit weird to me. I get it, because we trained in Chorlton, you know, but yeah. So I gave that up for obvious reasons, because it was, you know, it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. So I started to do other stuff. I've been travelling before. I don't really get the hype around travelling. A lot of my friends like to hype it up. The way I see it, they've paid a lot of money to get an exotic disease and a hangover. Now, I reckon I can do that for £3 in Salford. You know what I mean? But you know. It's funny actually because I come from a place called Chorley. I don't know if anybody's aware of it. I usually get oh god, there's some in. Who let you out? No, it's all right. It's not so bad, but it's just one of them places. If your only ambition in life is to be on Jeremy Kyle, you'll be all right. That's basically how I describe it. But they used to say about my old headmaster that he was making the school look like a prison, which seemed perfect to me because he's trying to prepare him for the rest of their life. But you know. I digress. It's moved on since then. It's been like 10 years since I left school this year, and nowadays they're all on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, there's a staggering number of them that have gone to the University of Life. You know, the weird thing is, they've all got about 5 or 6 kids, so I can only assume the University of Life doesn't include sex education, you know. But yeah, I don't like that, and I have been travelling. I went to Norway last year. That was really great, apart from the fact I nearly got mugged on my first day. That was entertaining. Yeah, but travel does give you new experiences, because I could run, so fuck it, you know. So that was all right. I kind of think, you know, they always say that travel broadens the mind, and I think they're probably right, but it broadened my mind in a way I didn't expect. You see, I don't know whether it's doing comedy or whether it's going other places, but I found myself thinking about increasingly dark and possibly unfunny things, right? I'm going to let you guys be the judge of this one. Bear with me, because, you know, it's going to be a bit weird, is all I'm saying. A couple of months ago, I went to watch Bruce Springsteen at the Etihad Stadium. If there's any City fans in, the Etihad Stadium is where you play your home games. I thought that might work here. Funny that, isn't it? Yeah, so I went to the Etihad, and most of you, well, City fans aren't familiar with the outlet, but I'll explain it. Basically, you go into a square before you get into the stadium, right? Now, for someone like me, that's a pain in the arse, and the legs, and the back, and yeah, you get the point. So it was a bit of an issue for obvious reasons, and eventually it got to a stage. I went on my own because I don't know anyone that likes Bruce Springsteen. I'm 26, right? Most of his fans are in the 60s, you know. It's great though, because most of the stadiums I go to have got stair lifts, so it's brilliant. But yeah, no. So I went to this gig on my own, but I was struggling a bit, and my dad actually dropped me off at the Etihad. So what he decided to do was he asked one of the stewards for help, and he got me one of these buggies. Now, what they generally do with them is they just drive you straight into the stadium. And it was while I was being driven into the stadium that I had the darkest thought I think I've ever had. Because you see, the reason they take you into that square beforehand is so they can check you for anything you're not supposed to have, you know, knives, bombs, that kind of thing. Oh, someone just killed my mic. If you want me to get off, you could be a bit less subtle, you know. I won't mind, but it would take me 10 minutes to get off, you know. It's great this, because you come up here and like it takes you 5 minutes to get on, you've done half your set, it's great, but what the fuck happened then? Anyway, so yeah, I was, so they got me this buggy and they drove me through, and I thought, well, generally they check you for stuff you're not supposed to have. So at that point I went, fucking hell, a disabled terrorist would have a really easy time. Yeah, you didn't like it. But you see, the thing about it, I thought about it later on, and there is some appeal to it, because, you know, like, if somebody said to me, do you want to be a suicide bomber? I'd go, what are the risks? Well, you might blow your legs off. Oh, no. I didn't expect that to be uniformly popular, I'll be honest. It's one of another joke that I do another joke as well about where I used to work. And my manager, his only way of motivating people was to go, oh, for fuck's sake. He was from Birmingham, he had a stroke, right, yeah? Kind of wish he had, because it might have put a smile on his face, but there we go. See, now that got a laugh, right? Do you know when it doesn't get a laugh? When you do it at a charity gig for a hospice. That's all I'm saying. I don't always make the wisest decisions. I think about stuff that, you know, that people shouldn't, and I often say things that people shouldn't. I don't talk about politics much because it fucks me right off, you know. People on television saying, we want more power, we want more power. Yeah, 4,000 volts should fucking do it, shut up. I mean, I don't like politics in general, and it comes from where I was raised, I suppose. You always used to hear things about, oh, the country's going to the dogs, and I used to think that was a ridiculous phrase. But then I thought about it a bit more. I've got a dog, and what my dog does is he fucks off when I ask me to bring him something, and he leaves his shit everywhere for somebody else to clean up. Sounds like a politician to me, I don't know about you, but yeah. So yeah, that's just me meandering through my thoughts, much like I meander through life, one very unbalanced step at a time. Yeah, I mean, I've done some weird shit, you know. Like I said, I've been to Norway, and I've travelled all over the place. Once travelled to Bulgaria for a girl without telling her. That crossed, yeah. I don't even need to tell the story. That's where it crosses from being romantic to creepy, you know. Thought I'd be a Disney prince. Turned out I was Quasimodo. Didn't even get my bell rung. It was just fucking horrible. The best bit is, every time I do this and I get filmed, she sees it on YouTube, and I like to think she watches it and thinks, oh, well, at least he's getting something out of it, you know? But yeah, I've done a lot of crazy things, but the one thing I haven't done is I've never taken drugs. And reason for that is the effects, to me at least, are terrifying. For example, if you take cocaine, you can find yourself jabbing on endlessly to a room full of people who don't give a fuck what you're saying. That must be quite scary. I thought about trying a softer drug like cannabis, but then someone told me if you take cannabis, you think everyone's staring at you. So, yeah. One last thing about being disabled, and because I was doing some new stuff, I wanted to work this in, so I'll do it. I'm a big music fan, and yeah, the lights come on. I promise I'll fuck off, don't worry. But yeah, I'm a big music fan. I like to listen to it before I go to my gigs. But I've suddenly realised the problem with a couple of them. I listen to The Pretenders, for example. I listen to a song called Brass in Pocket. Don't know if anyone knows it, but it's got a thing in the chorus. I'm gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special. Oh, fuck. And then I thought, well, I'll listen to some Manchester music, so I put a bit of James on. Oh, sit down. Oh, fuck. Sit down next to me. Well, you can't, but what you can do, if you like me, you can follow me on social media, because I like to whinge about it, but I also like the human interaction. You can probably tell I'm desperate for it. And I'm going to fuck off now, because I'm holding your night up by at least 35 minutes getting off here. So wish me luck, and I'll see you on the other side, or in Tameside Hospital, one or the other. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the wonderful John Porter! Lovely stuff. Right, we are about to take our final break of the evening before your fantastic headline act, Dan Nightingale. About another 10 minutes, go and grab yourselves a drink. First, though, give it up for the two acts you saw, Mel O'Rourke and John Porter, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in 10.